This is my life, my dream. Nothing's gonna stop me now.
Welcome back to Director's Choice. In 2011, we were introduced to a TV show about one of the most entertaining friend groups, who some argue rival that of the 90s hit sitcom Friends.
Okay, here we go.
New Girl was an instant hit. Each of the characters represented a specific role within the group's dynamic. Jess is the optimist, Nick is the pessimist, and Winston is the goof. But no friend group is complete without that one person who is the butt of every joke. The friend who can't help but do or say things that make us laugh at their expense. Enter Schmidt.
Schmidt's world is different than ours. They speak a different language. They shorten every word to one syllable. Okay, he once called an oven an ovs. He calls an airport air.
I'll catch up, catch.
But there's often something more complex behind the people who make us laugh the most. Today, we are going to explore the psychology behind everyone's favorite TV D-bag, Schmidt.
Hey girl, what you doing?
Schmidt's childhood was full of demons.
Schmidt wrote back, and he kept writing back about any problem he faced.
Growing up, Schmidt was the token fat kid. He often drowned his sorrows in chocolate and pretty much any other kind of dessert. The sorrows he was drowning, though, mainly had to do with his family. Schmidt came from a broken household. He grew up with an absentee father and an overbearing mother.
His daddy divorced his mommy, and Schmidt was left without the love of a father. He didn't take it well. He began an endless cycle of crying and chocolate.
Schmidt never gave up on the hopes of his dad one day coming back and miraculously turning into the father he'd always wanted. But every time there was a glimmer of hope, he was let down.
My dad never showed up.
He didn't?
It hurts so bad.
You want a milkshake, cowboy?
It's different now.
I've heard that before.
Then there's Schmidt's complicated relationship with his mother. Although there is no doubt that she loves him, Schmidt's mom constantly critiques him and, in effect, makes him feel like he always has to prove himself to her.
We get together and we laugh, and she tells me all the ways that I can be better at things, and then I do them, but not right. Oh, it's fun. We have fun.
Schmidt's mother instilled his incessant need for other people's approval.
Do you think I care too much about what people think, Jess?
Maybe a little bit.
Put this family dynamic together and you are left with a grown man who is battling the fear of abandonment and never being enough. Or, in simple terms, you are dealing with a wildly insecure person. Like most people dealing with insecurity, Schmidt constantly overcompensates. He takes overcompensating to a level that earns him the label of a D-bag.
Just put it in the jar, Schmidt.
Yeah, come on, no excuses, Schmidt.
He tried to kiss her.
For you guys.
Schmidt seems to constantly be chasing an identity.
But if there's anything that majoring in marketing with a minor in theater studies has taught me, is that everybody has a brand. I'm staging an event to relaunch the Schmidt brand.
He wants to be seen as successful, attractive, and a womanizer. He will go to unusual lengths to achieve this image.
Fire. The most dangerous element of all of the elements.
Let's start with Schmidt's career path. In college, he was an innocent volunteer candy striper. But when he is faced with the reality that women tend to choose the rich businessman over the sweet hospital volunteer, he changes career paths.
Where does the guy have to volunteer to get a girl like that, huh?
I don't volunteer. I'm a man. I have a job. In marketing.
In a very ironic twist, Schmidt finds that his career in marketing, which he chose in order to win over women, involves being the man meat in the office.
Hey guys!
Whoa, whoa! Schmidt, Santa voice. This isn't Temple.
Ho ho ho!
He also puts a huge emphasis on his looks. After college, he took it upon himself to perform a full transformation.
I changed everything about myself, Jess. I lost all the weight, I changed my clothes, I even dropped my voice half an octave.
He takes beauty methods to an extreme that most women don't. He seems to teeter between the masculine persona he strives for and his tendencies that many would classify as feminine.
Friday night, gentlemen, it's on.
What happened to you?
It's on and popping up in here, you feel?
What happened to you?
What?
You didn't used to be like this, Schmidt.
What are you talking about?
This might be due to the fact that he never grew up with a father to model classic masculinity for him. At the end of the day, though, this isn't a downside to his character.
Because whatever you did or didn't do, Schmidt turned out amazing.
But no matter how many times he takes off his shirt and flexes his muscles, there will always be a part of Schmidt who still feels like an insecure kid.
Why would he? I guess I'll just always be the fat boy who eats fat boy cheese.
A huge part of the macho image Schmidt tries to achieve has to do with his desire to be viewed as a womanizer. His self-confidence seems to rely on how many women he can lay. There are many times when he seems to value quantity over quality.
So you know what? I'll let you check my lost and found. It's where I keep all the stuff the girls leave behind in my room after we communicate. That's sizes 0 through 10.
His need to prove that he can, in fact, win over women once again comes from the fact that he spent a majority of his life as the type of guy who wasn't exactly a babe magnet, even though his attitude as an adult is designed to make you think that he's been hustling from a young age. Schmidt didn't lose his virginity until college, and even then, he wasn't much of a sexual Adonis.
I can't see! I'm right here!
At some point, though, he does get into his stride as a playboy.
So I'm good at this, right?
Schmidt, in my professional opinion, you have definitely earned the rank of, and I will use a phrase you coined, the genius.
But even the most notorious players have their kryptonite. Enter Cece. Right off the bat, Cece seems to inherently bring out Schmidt's need to overcompensate for his insecurities.
I'm a little warm right now.
Don't, Schmidt.
All right. Oh yeah, there it is.
Please put your shirt back on. Please don't make me laugh at you.
Cece ends up being Schmidt's white buffalo. She's the elusive myth of his idea of the perfect woman. But Cece sees straight through Schmidt's image and knows his insecurities. Cece is a strong, confident woman and is not looking for a grown man who is still battling mommy issues and childhood obesity. She does end up hooking up with him though.
Are you ashamed of me?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I'm 100% ashamed of you.
Before we dive deeper into his and Cece's relationship, let's pause and discuss another very important romance. In Season 2, we are introduced to Schmidt's college girlfriend, Elizabeth. Elizabeth loved Schmidt before he had abs and wore bronzer.
Ooh, hey, Cece, I'm glad you're here. I need you to put bronzer all over my body.
She loved the humble guy he was back in college.
The truth is, I met Schmidt a long time ago when we were in college, and he was a sweet, chubby communications major who wore cargo shorts.
Once Elizabeth comes back into his life, she forces Schmidt to take a look in the mirror.
You were the greatest boyfriend. I loved big guy. But then you lost weight, and you got mean.
From there, she brings out a side of Schmidt that is more lighthearted and less focused on what other people think of him. But Schmidt ends up ruining his relationship with Elizabeth when he cheats on her with Cece.
What are we doing tonight?
Dexter and pie.
Girl, you treat me right. Okay, hey, there she is. My one and only.
He also ends up losing Cece for a while when she finds out that he's been two-timing her. Let's pick up from here. Schmidt and Cece go on to have a continuous on-again, off-again relationship. No matter how many other people they date, the two can never seem to shake the idea that they belong together. Like Elizabeth, Cece can see the man Schmidt really is and sees past his D-bag ways.
She needs to accept you exactly how you are, or you need to find somebody that will. Because I think you are fine as is.
They go on to get married and even have a child together. This gives Schmidt the opportunity to have the type of family he never had growing up. He is a loving, devoted husband and a hands-on father.
Now, you need to pick up Ruth at 2 p.m. on the dot. The 3 pillars of the pickup are gate code, sign out, and lunch, which needs to be a peanut butter sandwich. Otherwise, she will shut down and go full armadillo.
The evolution of Schmidt's character from an insecure tool into a secure man was in large part due to Cece. Cece and Schmidt are proof of the huge impact that just one person can have on you. But there's one thing about Schmidt's character that never changes: his control issues. Some people have even diagnosed him with OCD. Let's take a look at this psychological theory.
Popsicle psychology.
Optical psychology.
Yeah, it's pop psychology for short. Because, you know, you eat the popsicle, you love it so much that you're stuck holding the stick.
There's no doubt that Schmidt is by no means a laid-back person.
Words that have never been used to describe Schmidt. Spontaneous, flexible, easygoing.
But just because someone is uptight doesn't make them OCD. There are specific symptoms that a person with OCD exhibits, such as stalking.
I'll go down alleys, I'll cut across parks. I will live in the shadows. slithering, lurking, trolling the darkness.
A fixation on rules.
You know what I mean? It's what happens when you don't have any rules.
And compulsive cleaning.
There's a spill.
I know. Do your exercise.
We even learn that this mental illness runs in his family.
I don't know if you know, but I'm a little OCD.
Me too.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
However, there is the question of how much of Schmidt's supposed OCD is due to nature versus nurture. Like most of his adult problems, Schmidt's control issues were ingrained in his childhood.
No, I mean, you're like aging ballerina, child chess prodigy, professional magician crazy.
It's my mom's fault.
So many parts of his childhood, from his mother's expectations, to his father's absence, and even to his weight, were out of his control. So can we really blame him for the way he is? Yes, Schmidt can be a controlling, narcissistic, borderline crazy D-bag.
Yes, no! I can't believe I never noticed this before, but Schmidt, you are legitimately crazy.
But that's somehow what makes him so charming. New Girl wouldn't be New Girl without him.
Without you, man, we're just three idiots who live together. You make us a family.
Whether it's a parent, friend, or colleague, we all have a Schmidt in our lives. The person who we don't always like, but still always love. Sometimes they test our patience and make us want to change who they are.
Being friends with Schmidt is really complicated because you want to change him so badly, but you can't.
But part of being a true friend is accepting someone as they are. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The understanding and acceptance that the characters have of each other is what makes many of us keep watching New Girl. Take a look at this other recent clip by Director's Choice, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified with our latest videos.